Good evening, family and friends, and welcome to our special track graduation. My name is Stephanie Palmer, and I'm the principal of Hinsdale South, and it's my pleasure to welcome you here tonight. So, please stand and join me in welcoming the Hinsdale South High School class of 2016.
Then you do as response.
Good evening. My name is Priya Nair, and I am the Mistress of Ceremonies for tonight's commencement celebration. I invite you to remain standing and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, and please be seated.
Thank you.
On behalf of the class of 2016 and the Hinsdale South administration and staff, I welcome you to this evening's celebration. Please join me in thanking the Hinsdale South Brass Quintet under the direction of Mr. Patrick Mobb for its musical contributions as our seniors enter this evening. I would also like to take a few moments to introduce the following honored guests. Representing the District 86 Board of Education is Ms. Kay Gallo, the president. Dr. Bruce Law serves as the superintendent of schools for Hinsdale Township High School, District 86. Please welcome Dr. Law. Now please welcome the following members of the Hinsdale South High School leadership team. Ms. Stephanie Palmer, principal. Mr. Eric Martzoff, assistant principal for operations. And Mrs. Arwen Pokorny-Lip, assistant principal for curriculum. To all of our honored guests, please accept our appreciation for providing Hinsdale South students with a high-quality education. Family, friends, teachers, and administration, welcome to the graduating class of 2016 track edition. Today is the last day of our childhood life and the beginning of our adult life. Happy, sad, frightened, anxious, no matter what your emotion is, you have to vacate your seat for the next senior. Now, I could talk about how great Hinsdale South has been, but we already know what a special school this is. What makes it even more special is you, the class of 2016. From musicians to athletes, your accomplishments have made headlines in the newspapers, decorated walls inside the schools, and if not those, at least your grandma's refrigerator. 4 years of amazing friendship, tears, accomplishments, and fun. Remember when we all got to miss the last day of school to watch the girls' soccer team at state? Or the crazy football and basketball themed sections with Jesus running down against our games against Central? Or even the whole school lift up our sophomore year? Hinsdale South has given us some amazing memories. And we've been there for each other through it all, whether it was our Disney and Lion King phases, or our Hannah Montana and That's So Raven phases, or even our current phase of angsty teenager. But now, it's time to move on. But before we do, it's important to recognize that behind each graduate is a village of people to whom we owe a huge debt of gratitude for making this journey unforgettable, bearable, and filled with great memories. To our teachers, thank you for dealing with us no matter how much senioritis and excuses we had. And thank you to the teachers we can easily call our close friends. To our parents, Don't worry, we won't forget about you. We still need someone to do our laundry when we come back home. And to our coaches, thank you for helping us become the best athletes we can be and to appreciate hard work and for getting the boys track team to state. And to the class of 2016, I just want to say wow. We truly are an unforgettable class filled with so many talented people. You are musicians. We have 4 people in all-state choir and even a person who has recorded and released the song. You are athletes. We have had over 5 athletes of the month, and we have over 15 athletes continuing their sport into colleges. You are scholars. The class of 2016 is sending over 10 students to the top named schools around the country. You are volunteers. Our student body has logged over 500 service hours alone. And you are key members of the electronic generation. You are the generation of Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, YouTube, and of course, SparkNotes. You are unforgettable. We have made our impact on Hinsdale South, and they say all good things have to come to an end. But why should they? Right now, it's just our high school careers. Now, I'm moving on to the meaningful part of my speech. If you have enough meaning in your life, you can stop listening right now. So as you move on from high school, you will have choices. You can go left and take the path that's familiar, go right and take the path that's uncertain, or you can head straight and take the path of unknown. But at least with that unknown, you know that path will be yours. It's hard to predict what the future will be like, but what you can know is what you can do in it. Now, I know she's changed a lot in the past 10 years, but Hannah Montana did give us some good advice back then. Nobody's perfect, everybody makes mistakes, everybody has those days. We're all gonna do things we regret years later, whether it was wearing those matching Hollister shirts with our friends, or looking back at those filtered selfies on our computer. But there's a beauty in how life allows us to rebuild and redefine ourselves, almost giving us infinite chances to get it right. And our friends will always be there to point us in the right direction. And guys, I hate to say it, but Hinsdale South is not our peak. We are all gonna do some amazing things in life. Here are some goals of our very own class. Aiden Kelly wants to be President of the United States. Robert Hall wants to be a rapper bigger than Yeezus. Sarah Birch wants to travel the world. And Maddie Nowak just wants to make a difference. Our journey is just beginning, but I couldn't think of a better place to start. Thank you for all the memories, Hinsdale South.
Thank you so much, Priya. We really appreciate you coming back and honoring us with your emceeing and your speech. Thank you so much. All right, now, normally the principal gives an address to the graduates, but I'm changing it up. Last year, right, you transferred to Hinsdale South, and I remember meeting you in the hallway, Shawn. It was kind of interesting because I don't meet every transfer student who comes to Hinsdale South, but I met Shawn, and I could tell that he was very different. So tonight, I'm going to cede my time in speaking to a member of the track team who has prepared some remarks for you this evening. So please welcome Shawn Davis.
I would like to begin today by saying thank you to all the faculty and staff for the work that they put in to make this evening possible. I would like to thank our teachers for filling our heads with knowledge and encouraging us to reach for the stars. I would like to thank our families for coming out to share this special time with us. I would especially like to thank our parents for not only giving us life, but teaching us right from wrong and acting as our first teachers. Thank you all. For the graduates you see before you today would not be here without help from each of you. Finally, I address my friends and classmates, the graduating class 2016. Congratulations to us all, for today we stand at the end of childhood and on the brink of adulthood. From this moment, Our stories are entirely our own. Up to this point, our hands have been lovingly guided by our parents and the other adults in our lives in the writing of our stories. But from here on out, for better or for worse, their hand is off, and our stories are entirely our own. Today I stand before you to give a graduation address. Most graduation addresses go something like this: funny intro, body paragraphs beginning with funny stories from freshman year, glossing over sophomore year because no one cares about sophomore year, talking about taking the ACT junior year, bringing up how much we're going to miss each other after senior year, and concluding with a Dr. Seuss quote. In most graduation speeches, I'm supposed to tell you all the things I've learned and talk about victory. But we are not most graduates. We are not here in this room really because we passed 4 years of high school. We are in this room, this particular space, in this particular moment, because our individual pursuits of greatness have brought us here today. We are here because when the opportunity to make history and chase our dreams called, we answer. We are here because we realize that everyone gets a chance to graduate, but not everyone gets a chance to put their name in the history book. Not everyone gets a chance to see their dreams made reality before their very eyes. So I stand here before you today, not to talk about the happy things learned in victory, but the difficult lessons gleaned in defeat. No one goes through life without encountering some sort of adversity. Likewise, no one goes through a whole track season without encountering a setback. Whether we transfer to a new school unexpectedly, or come down with an illness when we need our help the most, or have our bodies fail us, right at the moment when we're doing the things that we love. We all have had things happen that threaten to derail our dreams. My old track coach from Fenwick was a science teacher, and he had a saying about animals that he would use to apply to track in life. It sounded kind of weird when I was a freshman, but now it kind of makes more sense. He said that when living things encounter adversity, they do one of two things. Either they adapt, or they die. I believe that dreams are the same way. We make plans, life throws us a curveball, and then it's up to us to knock said curveball out into right field. My fellow graduates, we are sitting here today because we have done just that. I never planned on having to run track in 2 places, but transferring schools just gave me 2 places to set records at. Roman never planned on contracting a debilitating illness during his senior season, but his being down just provided him with an opportunity to show us all what it looks like when a distance runner comes from being down and roars back into dominance. Dylan never planned to tear his ACL triple jump, never planned on missing an entire football season, but he also never planned on going downstate less than a year after surgery for the 4x4. Trey went through the season with a stress fracture. He never planned on it. But in the process, he showed us all what it truly means to be a fighter. Thank you. All of us can think back to a time when we encountered adversity, be it athletic or otherwise. Whether it's the loss of a job, the passing of a loved one, or just the overall stress of life. Life hasn't been a crystal stair for anyone. As Langston Hughes said, it's had cracks in it, and it's tripped up many people many a time. But it is only when it is darkest out that we can truly see the stars. Likewise, it is only when we are down and have been counted out that we have the opportunity to stand up and show our strength. So, my fellow graduates, while some of us have earned the right to compete beyond today, for all of us, there will come a time when we have to hang up our uniforms and go home. There will come a time when we trade our spikes for dress shoes and beat our batons into business cards. But let God curse the day that we ever let our fighting spirits dwindle and let our drive run out. No matter where you go, or who you meet. Never let anyone take the spirit that has gotten you here today. Never. If you take anything from this speech, let it be this: that the people who matter most in your lives won't mind your little imperfections. And the ones that mind your little imperfections, well, they don't matter at all. If you're a guy who picked up a new sport senior year, keep trying new things. If you have a hairstyle that no one's ever seen, keep being unique. Never count yourself out. The world will do that for you. If a guy who grew up with a speech impediment can give a graduation speech, then there is nothing that all of you can't do. So go forth, my fellow graduates. Go forth, class of 2016. Go forth and change the world. Make your ancestors proud and give your descendants someone to gloat about. Chase your dreams until you realize that you've already surpassed them. Don't just work at a job you hate and drive yourself into the ground. Don't just dream and think about what you want to do. Work for your dreams. Work toward your dreams until your dream and your life become one. Few men ever accomplish what they set out to do in life. But, my fellow graduates, my class of 2016, my friends, we are not those men. Thank you.
I want to tell you, this young man practices what he preaches. Last week at the senior picnic, he asked one of my leadership team if he could do a graduation speech at the alternate graduation. And we said, no, that's okay, we got it, we're good. And all the way to today, he asked, can I do a graduation speech? And we said, yes. And we are so glad we did. Thank you so much. All right, so at this time, I am going to certify that the graduates in front of you have reached the level of attainment to be considered graduates. Now, I'm paraphrasing because, of course, I need to find where this is. Oh, here we go. Okay. Each student has fulfilled a rigorous course of study as set forth by the District 86 Board of Education and the Illinois State Board of Education, and is entitled to receive recognition for their work. I will now invite Dr. Bruce Law to verbally affirm that the Board of Education recognizes these students as duly accredited to graduate.
On behalf of the Board of Education of Hinsdale Township High School District 86, I accept your certification of the class of 2016 and, in recognition of their accomplishments, recommend conferring a diploma to each student. I also affirm that these students have extended the Hinsdale District 86 tradition of excellence.
All right. So now, at this time, I invite Coach Dickerson to come forward and call these students to receive their diplomas from our school board president, Kay Gallo. One of the greatest moments is hearing your name called at graduation. So, here you go, gentlemen. I'm sure this will rank right up there with winning state.
Dylan Boyd. Shawn Davis. And again, at this ceremony, you do not have to hold your applause till we're all.
Yeah, Shawn.
Roman Dropchuk.
Do I click this when I'm done?